Hello there, astronauts. Welcome to another episode of Stationeers News. It's 2026, June the 13th, so that's over 2 months since the last episode, in which I told you about the benefits of double walling, particularly on Venus, and that mining on Venus is now no longer a death sentence. So why has it been this long? Because there was not much going on. The last public update was around the 20th of March. Here, this is the beta version changelog on the official Discord server. So at first we see a few bug fixes, but most of the time it's a whole lot of nothing. Now, do note that not all builds will have public change notes, so just because there's nothing written here doesn't mean nothing has happened. But I'm not aware of anything going on backstage. I mean, one could think about nuclear power and whatever, but no, I didn't hear any of that. So are they taking a break or something? I don't know. Well, at least most recently, they decided to do another project clinic. That's what they call that when they get together and play the game for real and multiplayer seriously, to see the things that first and foremost need to be polished, rounded out, improved, replaced, changed. They started with this on the 30th of May and even offered players to join in, at least on the contributors channel. Rocket CEO said, "Play session is serious, so be good." So I didn't join. Too bad we don't have a spectator feature, right? So what else do we find in the beta changelog? More bug fixes. And this is really hardcore backstage stuff, it's not something that I could demonstrate in the gameplay. And what is this? Added kinematic camera controller. Run camera kinematic in the console to toggle or escape to exit. Pre-fly with WASD, Q and E for rolling I suppose, space and control. Mouse to look, shift fast, alt slow, scroll wheel adjusts speed. Tab opens the settings panel for live tuning of speed, smoothing, field of view and screenshot resolution. Screenshot P captures a 4K PNG. Run console command camera kinematic help for detailed instructions. Well, now look at this. So I toyed around with this feature and I must say it's really great. That said, it was quite overdue, wasn't it? The game has been in early access for around a decade, and any community efforts to make it look good could have been aided this whole time. But now they are. So, behold Stationeers, the greatest game to ever be... made. Now let's move on. Added new console formatting and updated help text. The intention is to make the console more usable and the help text be more consistent. Yeah, look at this. Way more readable. The page up and page down keys now also work and they indeed switch an entire page. Also, the console history is saved, so when you boot up Stationeers again and press up arrow in the console, you may just get orbit timescale 0 from your previous testing or whatever. I'm not saying the history is long, I'm just saying it's persistent. And yes, we have tab completion. Still needs some work in my opinion. Whenever you press up arrow to get the previous command, the cursor will be at the beginning. That doesn't make sense, it needs to be at the end. Also, when I tab complete a command here, a space should be inserted at the end, because then I could type O tab T tab 0, orbit timescale 0, for freezing the day-night cycle. But no, now I have to type O tab space T tab space 0. But anyway, we have a completion feature now, so that's quite an improvement. Some more bug fixes, and these can even be felt in the gameplay, like for example the air conditioner not being interactable when mounted. That has supposedly been fixed. Then some more nothing? A bug fix? Enabled the large payload bay and associated payload delivery container. Oh, this thing looks like a bomb. Well, that's because it's supposed to drop from the sky. When attached to a payload bay large, the payload delivery container can be deployed in low orbit to drop supplies to any location on the map. Any location on the map. Not just like you can choose which rocket pad to land on, which also allows you to transport stuff and travel quickly and expensively, but any point on the map. Here's the list of slots of the container. And here, the payload bay large functions as an attachment point for the payload delivery container. Set the deploy location by setting the position X and position Z logic variables on the device. Use the deploy action on the rocket location panel to deploy an attached payload. The open logic variable must be set to 1 to commence payload deploy. And here are the logic values and the logic slot values. Okay, what else? Added new kit and recipe for testing orbital crew modules. Well, this isn't yet buildable, but if you hack in the item kit debug, you can make this crew module. And yeah, this looks like it's made for astronauts. Here's the crew umbilical. And this is how we enter. This is also how you can leave again. Press Q or just start walking. And now you can indeed fly up. Honestly, I haven't actually flown to orbit with this, so I don't know if it works, but like I said in the previous episode, building an orbit is now possible, technically, as you can see here. This is the orbital launch mount for rockets. This one also has to be made with the item kit debug, so it's not yet official, but we're getting there. So yeah, you're getting a whiff here of what will be possible. Here I'm on the ground, setting the rocket destination to this launch mount orbital. The crew module is built in 3 stages. The monitor and the seat that you can see here are separate objects. And here we have the crew module cable connector A. There's a whole matrix of connectors, and the connector B is similar, but it's vertical. I have no idea what these will be used for. Could it be the crew module will have a more complex interior than anticipated so far? I don't know, but these things do have a purpose, right? These are the existing crew module parts. The crew module screen, the crew module chair, seat for a player inside a crew module. Exiting returns the player to the connected umbilical crew when available, otherwise to the module's exit point. The chair actually has logic slots values. Makes sense. Occupied, for example. There's no description here for the cable connectors, but here you can see the connections. So, we've seen that development appeared to have been a bit slow in the last months, but that's just the public-facing side. An empty Beta Changelog entry doesn't mean that nothing has changed. For example, what about graphical assets? They never show up in the log. What's printed there is only when stuff gets implemented. Regardless, in the last few weeks when I found time to work on this video, the RocketWorks devs chose to ramp up development speed crazily. I mean, it's really like a machine gun. Impossible to keep up. That's why I decided to cut this video short and instead make a new one where I will basically only list the stuff that was implemented. Otherwise it just doesn't work. But before I let you go for today, there's 2 more items on our menu. Number 1. The arc furnace. Did you ever notice that you could build it anywhere you want? This is now no longer possible. You need a frame. And there's something new about paints. We have these 12 ones. And here I found kind of the optimal arrangement inside the tool belt Mark II. Problem is, now I'd need 4 more slots, because there are 4 more paints. Yes, the developers actually added more paints into the game. But these are not colors that one might miss like cyan. Instead, it's metallic style colors. And you cannot print them yourself. You will have to obtain them via the Cosmic Curiosities Trader. I've also heard the developers thinking about making a little DLC that would just unlock these as recipes, which has a hint of pay to win. But please keep in mind the financial situation. I mean, players on Discord keep suggesting simple-seeming DLC ideas to get more money into the devs' pockets. To which Dean Hall's response is that experience with Stationeers DLC shows that it would cost way more to make them than players actually pay for them in the end. Yeah, the Stationeers cosmos isn't looking great financially. Rocket Dean Hall also made it very clear that Stationeers sales have dropped off by a lot, so that's not good. So whatever boost they got from the terrain update times, that has faded by now and things look somewhat grey. But in the next video I want to make, you will see that apparently the developers are super highly motivated. You'll see. Alrighty. See you again next time.